Is this a coincidence? Me and you both being here at the same time? It's awfully convenient. I'm John Zidar. This is On Top and Hot. And today is Tuesday. It is February 4th. Now, I like to talk to you about penny stocks. I'm a day trader. I primarily trade stocks under $5. And through the week, I give you a variety of videos, and all of them touch on the penny stocks. Well, on Tuesdays, I like to bring you over here to Pennybois. I'm over here every day from 9:30 to 4 o'clock trading with anybody and everybody that wants to trade with us. We've got a link down below. It says this is the Pennybois link. Click it. It won't hurt you. That'll take you to Discord. If you haven't got a Discord account, don't worry about it. Just give them an email, choose a username and password, and you've got an account. They'll automatically direct you over here to us. Find your menu over here on the left. It won't be as big as mine. Find free members page in there. Click it, and you're going to be here with us. What we're doing over here is helping people learn how to trade. Whatever it is you do, scalping, swing trading, trade stocks, options, crypto tokens, you name it, we've got professionals over here that want to help you. Now, I'm over here primarily scalping. That's my job. I go out and find hot stocks, find charts, put the supports and resistances on them so that we can get our entries and our exits, and we take quick gains. But we got people over here who are swing trading, talking about that. People who are playing options, talking about that. So we got a lot going on this page. Anywhere from 50 to 200 people at a time. And a lot of them are bringing in their own due diligence, dropping pictures of charts, telling us about stocks that are running. So we got a lot of information coming from a community that is serious about trading. We're not over here calling each other names or picking on each other. No, we're helping each other make money. Now, we do a lot of stuff over here in 8 hours, and there's no way I could cover it all. So what I want to do is focus in on one of the stocks that we played today because it was fun. There was a lot of activity on CAPT, ticker CAPT. I found this stock at 9:49 in the morning. So it was 10 to 10 when I found the stock. You can see she was already blasting off. Now, a lot of you would look at that chart and say, oh, I missed it. That's done. I'm too late for that. No, folks, these are the sort of stocks we're looking for. Stocks that have already started to fly. And we're going to try to get a seat on that plane before it crashes. We don't care how far it's going to go. And we're not worried about missing the beginning. We're going to grab a probable move in the middle. So what I want to do is jump over to the chart for CAPT and talk to you about it. So we're looking at CAPT, ticker CAPT, over here at my free trading platform, Think or Swim. I've got her opened up to a 1 hour, 20-day view. As you can see, the price has been falling underneath the 200 for quite a while. 20 days ago, she was at about 75 cents. She hit a low of about 35 cents 5 days ago. She started climbing, got right up to the 200, and then she broke out. And you know what her catalyst was? I don't either. I mean, not that I didn't do any due diligence. I did, but there is no catalyst. I found news back from November, and I found a filing just the other day about one of their investors selling the 5% holdings they had in the company. Well, that's not good news. So why is it climbing? I have no idea. And you know what, folks? Normally over at Pennybois, we have no idea why a stock is running. Most of the time, we don't take the time to go look at the news. And truth of the matter is, reading the news can confuse. It can. Have you ever read good news and the stock fell? Or you had bad news and the stock went up? Well, why have any preconceived ideas by reading the news first? I mean, yes, in many cases, knowing the news helps. But not knowing the news doesn't really hurt. Folks, when I'm over here at Pennybois, I don't look at the news. I come over here and I look at the charts, and that's all I'm reading. It doesn't matter why the chart is moving. It doesn't matter why a car is moving if it hits you. It could have been rolling down the hill in neutral, or it could have been being driven. Doesn't matter. When it hit you, it hit you. The car was moving. When a chart is moving, I really don't care why it's moving. I'm just going to grab a probable move. So let's zoom in on what we can see, because you can't see a whole lot there. Let me break down what you're looking at here, right? So you've got your price. She's totally flat here, down at 40 cents. She was bouncing between 40 and 50 cents pre-market. We had seen that second halt. She had a first halt at around 9:43. She had a second one at 9:50. That is when we caught her, right here. Now, all of these horizontal lines, you know what they are, right? Yeah, Tom's got it. Supports and resistances. These are places where the price changes direction, where it bounces. I get these from historical price points, so I know it's a fact. I find places where the price comes down, hits that point, and goes up. Comes up, hits that point, and goes down. And I draw a line there. If the price is on top of it, it's on a support. If it's underneath it, it's a resistance. It's like a speed bump. Think of it like this. If you're driving your car and you approach a speed bump, what do? You slow down. Well, so does the stock. And when you get over that speed bump, what do? You speed up until you approach the next speed bump. Then you slow down. That's the way the stock is moving. So when we get into these plays, if the stock's price is right here where you see it now, I'm going to put an order in to buy it right here. I'm going to get ahead of the price. Let the price come to me. The cheapest price is not the best price. The best price is the safer price. Being above a support is a safer price. So I'm going to buy it right here. I'm going to sell right there underneath where she could hit her head and turn around and start to fall. I'm going to sell here. Now, if I see a really strong run like this, nobody says I have to sell everything here, but you should sell something. Don't let a payday go by without taking something. There's no guarantee how much further she's going to go past there. So sell 25%, sell 50%, but sell something. Don't talk yourself into the fact that you're losing money because you're selling some now and not carrying the whole load up the hill. You know what happens when you do that? You end up losing it all when she falls. So sell some, put money in your pocket. Anything happens, you're already ahead of the game right there. And of course, don't forget your stop loss, folks. If I'm getting right here above this support, I'm going to have a stop loss underneath because that's where she would break. If she fell underneath this strong support here, chances are she'd fall. I'd want to get out. Don't be relying on hope to save your butt. Hope doesn't ever do anything and it's too expensive. Just put a stop loss in, get out, take a small loss. We should be concentrating on controlling the losses. Don't worry about how much money you're going to win, how much money you're gaining. That's not your concern. It isn't. When you sit at a game of poker, what's your concern? To win each hand, to lose as few as possible. Are you counting how much money's going into the pot as it's building up? No. You're just concentrating on winning your hand. Just concentrate on winning. Concentrate on minimizing your losses. That's why we use stop losses, folks. We can't control what's going to happen, but we can control how much we get taken from. So put in your stop losses, even though you hate them. Learn how to place them in the right places so you don't get stopped out too often. You may have to push it down a little bit deeper. That's going to be on you to discover. All right, let's get rid of those lines. Now these blue horizontal lines, what the heck are all those? Those are halts. We had 9 halts from 9:43 to just before noon. Every single one of those, the stock was stopped from trading. You could not buy it. You could not sell it. It wasn't suspended or taken off the market. It was like a hot car. They just pulled it off the road, turned the key off, and let it cool down. Once it cools down, they put it back on the road. Gets hot again, they pull it off. Now, normally, each halt after the first one gets longer and longer than the first one. But there is no rhyme or reason to how long a stock can be halted. It is a few minutes each time. Sometimes it can be a lot longer, but normally it's a few minutes. How long is it going to be before it's halted again? There's no rhyme or reason there either. Looking at this chart, let's zoom in here. I'm going to come in right here. All right, right here we have 3 halts. I caught it on the second halt. This one happened at 9:43. This one happened at 9:50. This one happened at 9:55. How far is it moving? It isn't moving very far, and yet they keep halting it. Now look over here. She moved from here all the way up to here. with the same sort of bars, but we got no halts in here whatsoever. Look at the volume. The volume was light back here. It's really heavy and thick in here, but we're only getting an occasional halt, not like we did here. I think it has to do with how fast that volume is coming in. How fast are the orders coming in? It's not how much, it's how fast that they're coming in. I think that just creates a lot of digital friction, so they got to halt these stocks. Now, what we do when a stock is halted is we jump into the chart and it is frozen. And we look at it to see if it is going to go up or go down. And if it's going to go up, we can get an order in now while it is frozen and halted. Let's zoom in on this area right here. And let me get a little bit closer. All right, I saw the halt here. Our price is up here at about, let's call it 85 cents, okay? She is halted. I'm going to look at the chart to see if it's a hot chart or cold chart. What am I going to look at, folks? I'm going to look at every line on the chart. Let's come on down. We're right in this vicinity, right here. What do we have? We have a rising PPO. We have a green line on our ADX, meaning we have a dominant trend, an uptrend. Our yellow line tells us how strong that trend is. If it's rising, it's getting stronger. If it's falling, it's getting weaker. This is all strength. Our MACD is climbing, and our RSI is in the overbought, over 80. So all of our indicators are telling us it's hot. So as far as we're concerned, this stock is going to rise after the halt is pulled off. Now, we have two ways of playing halts over there at Pennybois. One way is to get in while it's halted. A lot of brokers will let you do that. And that's when you're going to place your order. You are going to put in an order for a buy, whatever price you want. Now, I'll tell you what, if the price is at 80 cents, I'm going to come in at like 92, 95 cents. Because when she comes out of the halt, she could have built up pressure and she could just burst real fast. So if she's at 80, 85 cents and I just go 87, 88, man, she could blow right by me and I would never get into that play. So if I'm way up here, I've got a better chance of catching it. And if it does come in cheaper, if it does come in at 87, I'm going to be given the better price. So either way, I've got a better chance of getting into this play. Then I use a trailing stop loss for my exit. That's my target sell. A trailing stop loss is just like a stop loss, except it moves. Let's say you want to put in 10 cents. You don't want to lose any more than 10 cents a share. You got your stop loss underneath you. When the price starts to rise, your stop loss follows you like a trailer right behind you, following that 10%, that 10 cents. If you drop 5 cents, your stop loss stops and freezes. As you get close to it, it doesn't move. You turn around and start climbing, it starts following you again. Once you come down that full 10 cents and finally hit your moving stop loss, then it's going to sell. So not knowing where to sell, this is a great way to get as much gains as you possibly can. The other way we play it is Scott's way. Scott likes to watch a halt. When it comes out of halt and falls, he waits for it to fall. He takes that high price, ours was 85 cents, and he puts 2 cents over it. 87 cents. When the stock starts to rise and closing in on 85, 87 cents, he will put in his order. When it hits his order, in most cases, because it's higher than the high was on that halt, it jumps. It doesn't just go up, it jumps. It may come back down real quick, but you do get a jump out of it. You get a quick gain. And that's what we're after over here. Quick gains. So every single one of these halts is an opportunity to play the stock. Now, as I said, there is no rhyme or reason. You don't know how long a halt's going to last. You don't know when it's going to be unhalted, if it's going to be halted again, how long the second, third, fourth, fifth halts are going to last. No clue. You just got to wait and watch. So we had a nice rise here. She went from about 47 cents up to 56 cents. And then she came down to our 20-day MA. Now, I want you to look at that chart, folks. I'm going to pull these lines off just so you can see this. Somebody please remind me to put these lines back up. There. You can see it nice and easy now, right? So we were down here at roughly 50 cents. We took that jump, came down to the 20, took another rise down to the 20, another rise down to the 20, and this is where she starts to fall and break away. Now let's put all of our lines back in there because I want to talk to you about that breakaway. We had about 7 or 8 opportunities here to take gains with this. Lots of plays. You could get in all sorts of areas here using our supports and resistances for your trades. Now let's focus in right here, folks. Right where she started to fall. This is what we want to be aware of, right? You want to know when a stock is going to fall. You want to know what to look for before a stock is going to fall. So let's look. Here is our fall. We can see she's falling here. We hit a high bubble. Now chances are all of these were high bubbles coming up. Normally I consider a high bubble a pullback zone. When you hit your head, the first thing you do is to pull back. You just kind of duck down a little bit. So I always expect a pullback off of a high bubble unless she is setting high, high, high because she's in a strong run. So I wouldn't expect this high bubble to be telling me she was going to fall. So what else am I looking at? We're looking at the lines on the chart, right? So let's zoom in just on underneath that high bubble. Come straight down. First off, our 20. It was climbing. It is now starting to level off. The 20 is very persuasive on the board. The stock price will follow that 20. She's starting to level off right here. Our 50 looks fine. Everything else looks fine up there. We have a falling 9 and we have a leveling 20. Now let's look at our oscillators. I'll make that bigger for you. Our PPO has got a downward slope to it now. She has just started to fall. Looking at our ADX, we've just had a crossover. Our downtrend is now dominant. It is the one on the top part of the graph. Our green line is at the bottom, so there's no strength here. And all the strength has gotten weak. It's pulled this uptrend down to the floor. So we see a downtrend coming in the picture. Now don't look here, just look right here. We had a crossover and it is climbing right now, meaning our downtrend is getting stronger. Our MACD, let me get this up a little bit for us. Falling. She went underneath and she is falling. And our RSI is starting to fall hard and fast. We were up here at 60. She's now down here at 52. She's under 55. Anything under 55 isn't warm anymore. So we could see that it is starting to fall. But let's say that was too subtle. Let's say you didn't notice that, okay? Most people don't notice things that are real subtle. We're on a 1-minute chart. So we've got 2 bars here that are both red. So now we've got your attention, right? You've got red bars. Now you're worried. Is this going to bounce? Well, that's the first thing people are going to say. Well, let's see. It could bounce off of this 200. Well, she could. Very well could. But the bounce is determined by how much strength is in the undercurrent. We've got to come down to our technicals down here. So let's look at these 2 red bars. What do we see? Well, first off, all of our volume, which, if you took notice of, was very, very strong, and we had lots of green volume. Now the volume is petering out, getting less and less. So right in this zone, we see all the green volume changed to red. We are in red right now. The green stopped, the red started. What else can we see in this drop zone right here? Looking at our oscillators, let's come on down. Well, our fall is continuing. Doon, 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 doon. Those 2 red bars show a lot of fall on our PPO. Our ADX, we had that crossover here, but look, boys, she is flying to the top. That means it is going to be a very strong downtrend. Our MACD, falling hard. We saw a little bit right there at the high bubble. The 2 red bars show it's coming down fast. So even if you missed it with the subtleties, with the high bubble, just after this halt, you can see everything started to fall. And if we back this out, you can see that was pretty much it for the rest of the day. She came down here and has just been going sideways, drooping, drooping, drooping. Now, a lot of people were watching this for the rest of the afternoon. And the bottom line is, look here first. Don't look at anything except the volume first. That's your ticket. If you don't have volume, you don't have volatility. If you don't have volatility, you don't have price action. Without price action, you don't get these huge runs. So as a scalper, as a day trader, that's my primary thing I am concerned with is volume. We're always looking for volume. Now let's jump back to Pennybois. You know what? It occurs to me, I did take a screenshot of CAPT while she was halted, so I can actually show you what it is I look for in a halted chart. This is CAPT when we found her the first time, 10 to 10. So I come here, she's froze, she's not moving, and I don't know how long she's going to be froze. She can jump into action at any time without any warning. So I'm checking to see if she's a hot chart. So what am I looking for? I want to see if all the lines on the chart are going up. Looking at my chart, I can see all my MAs over here are turned and starting to climb. No, they're not going parabolic or anything, but they are climbing, and that's all we need. We got a strong rip in the price. It's climbing. We just hit a high bubble. We've got lots of volume here, especially when you compare it to the day before when she had nothing. And look at every single oscillator. All of them are going to the moon. All of them are red hot. So we definitely have a hot, halted chart. We're liking it. Well, now I go a little bit further and I glean some information. I've looked at a lot of these charts. I have found down here on the level 2 is where all the orders queue up from your buyers and your sellers. You get to see how many shares they want and what prices they're willing to sell and buy for. Well, this is all down there and you can look at it any time. Well, when the chart is halted, it's halted too and mixed up. For some reason, they shuffle it like a deck of cards and they just put both sides on either side, and it is a mess. Well, I have come to some information that seems to work. The top 2 numbers in this column and the bottom 2 numbers in this column, in many cases, turn out to be numbers that the stock jumps to after she unhalts. Price here is 93 cents. We've got 95 and $1.10. And 96 and 96. Now that's not a huge spread, but on a lot of these, you'll see a stock that's at $4 and prices are at $6, $7, and you're going, oh my God, that's not serious, is it? Yeah, we see it happen quite a lot. But this was just the start of our day. This is how I recognize heat in a chart. It's pretty obvious, right? Every single thing is going up, all the lines. If anything is not going up, well, consider that. And the bottom line is that you got to have volume. That's what makes everything here work. The last thing I want to share with you folks is maybe you drop in over here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little slow at 2 o'clock. In the morning, oh my God, we've got so much going on I can't keep up with it. And then at lunchtime, things start to range. They flatten out and just kind of go sideways. And then after lunch, you get a couple new stocks to consider, but we like to kick around the embers. We like to look at stocks we've already played in the morning because usually those ran real hard and then at lunchtime they cooled down and fell, found a floor, and then after lunch start to climb again. And the same stocks we were playing we can come back to. And after they run so long through the day, the top gains get bigger. You get bigger spreads and you get to make more money. So a way you can do this, let me see if I can find one here for you. I try to mark every single chart that I have that has S&Rs on it, supports and resistances, these horizontal lines. I put this right there. Find it is a keyword to search for charts with S&Rs. If you come up here to the top corner, there's a search bar. If you put find it in there, you will get every chart associated with that word. And I put that most of the time on every chart. So you can come in here and see all the charts that we were playing through the day. CPIX today, load, NVVE, that was a hot one today. AI, RZLV, you see how easy this is? FUBO, there's Captain, ABSI, HIMXPLTR. So you can go looking at these charts right now and see the stocks that ran this morning, probably fell at lunch, and could possibly be running in the evening, the afternoon. Well, they could be running in the evening after market periods. Most of all the stocks we look at do come from the major exchange. We do get some OTC stocks, and it's not like we don't play them. There just isn't as much heat on the OTC as major exchange. So that's what we do over here, folks. We have lots of people bringing in charts. As you can see, not all these charts are from me. We have lots of different looking charts. People point out different things. Scott likes to show bounces and recoveries. I'm looking for scalps. We have other people that are bringing in swings. Lots of information constantly coming through that you can make use of absolutely free. And when you get here, consider it a try before you buy. I don't mind saying that. We are here to help you learn how to trade, and we have coaches you can hire. You're having problems, you need some one-on-one help, we can absolutely help you. Regardless of whether you're trading stocks, options, cryptos, tokens, whatever it is, we have professionals. And it's cheap, folks. $40 a month, you can rent a coach. Think of that. How much money do you lose in an average trade? We don't want to talk about that. So you can get the help you want here, folks. Come to the free member page, trade with us, bring your questions, ask me. If I don't have the answer, we've got a team. All I got to do is call them over and they'll gladly answer your questions. We'll show you what we're about. And then hopefully you'll reach out to us because we want to help you. Appreciate your time, folks. Hopefully I shared something with you of interest, something that helps. That's my whole job here, folks, is to help you. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See you, folks.